Well, I am a very emotional person, and this has been quite the challenge for me, not only in Austria as well as in Germany over the last 10 years, where sometimes I'll take something that someone says, and I'll see it immediately as, oh my God, I did something wrong, and I'll cry. And then the Germans and the Austrians are like, oh my God, okay. And that's on me having, not necessarily that awesome ability to be able to separate it as much, but it is important, and it is absolutely something that is not only encouraged, but it is just, as you said before, Erwin, it's the way that things are here where it's just very separate. It is something where I try to take it on as, yes, I am the outsider in that. I am the foreigner, so to say. So I need to be more open-minded to hearing these criticisms, and also not to see it as a criticism, but rather as a critique. Because there is a difference between criticizing the way someone does something or critiquing it. And my style, I have now been in my management position for just about 6 months now. And I had earlier one as well in Germany. Then through a move, I switched and it just wasn't an option, but that's absolutely fine. But I got hired in a management position, and it's been a challenge for me to also keep myself from criticizing, but rather just critiquing and working with younger people, or even, one of my trainees, for example. It's a very interesting system here. He's doing a trainee program and he's 54 years old. And it's just working with, how is this person? How can I talk to them? How can I get this message across that this is what needs to be done, but also in a way that they see it as, right, of course it needs to be done in this way, and that they also kind of want it to be done correctly, so to say, if I can get a little German, and I can be a little German in that way. It has to be done properly, but it has been a challenge for me to, to be, managing people and personalities. And, I write up our work schedules, and I'll write it up and I'll ask anyone before, hey, do you have a day that you need to have off, or do you have an evening you need to leave early or something? And if they tell me, great. And if they don't, and then we get to that day later and it's 2 days before and they tell me, or when I'm so sorry.
You're good. Take some
I
water.
swallowed wrong. Oh, I swear I'm not crying.
That's the water.
All right. Okay. Try again. So I'll be writing these. I write schedules for my entire team, and I try to talk to them before, is there a day or an evening? Do you need to change something around on the schedule? And if they tell me, great, I try my best to make it work. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. And then they'll come to me once the plan is already there. They'll come to me 2 days before and they'll say, hey, I need that day off. And I can't change it, at the last minute, not because that's my rule, but it's because it's the company rule. And I try and explain that to them. And then it ends up being, well, Danielle's the manager who won't let me, take the night off or take the day off. And it's like, well, and it's just kind of working with that, where how do I change my communication, or how do I change the way I'm talking to you to make you, or to have you not take this as a criticism, but a critique, where, well, if you had told me before, then I would have been able to change it. But also saying, oh, yeah, that sounds really fun. I don't know if I can make it work this time, but you know what? If something like this comes up again, just tell me a few weeks before and we'll make sure we get it in the schedule. And it shouldn't be a problem. Just making sure that I'm speaking also at eye level. That's something that's been very important to me my entire professional life. And it's something that I have also received very positive feedback on. Is, for me, it doesn't matter if it's the CEO of the company or the cleaning lady. I talk to everybody and treat everybody the same. And if I'm upset and need to talk about something in a more serious tone or a more serious matter, I'm going to. And if I need to be a different, type of manager, if I need to be calm, if I need to be very, what do they call that? Like gentle parenting.
Right.
Then I can change that as well. And it's just very important to also think about who's sitting in front of you, who's standing in front of you. How do I communicate with this person? How does this person communicate with me? How can we make this work? Because if your team doesn't work, your department isn't going to work. And if your department doesn't work, then you're going to have bigger problems in the larger scope of things.